Welcome to a special announcement episode of It's a Mimic, where you never know what you're going to get. I'm Adam, and with me today is Pepperina, and we're going to get to know a little about her. In this quick episode of the It's a Mimic podcast, Peps is going to roll 10 times on a d20 table and answer 10 questions so that you, the listener, can get a better understanding of who your hosts are and what unique experiences they're going to be bringing to the table during the next iteration of It's a Mimic. But before we get started, let's get into the three most important questions. 1, what's your professional background and what do you do for work by the broad strokes?
I am a baker. I currently work for a bakery where I do decorations for cookies and cakes and cupcakes. And that's also I've had my own company that I've done that with for probably 13 years or so, and I'm actually an award-winning baker. I've won several different competitions and things like that.
What I gotta ask, this is not an regular thing, but what's your specialty? What's the thing that you bake better than anything else?
I mean, my specialty is cupcakes. That is what I started with. That I have a cupcake tattoo on my leg. So that's what I am known for. I've actually been to like funerals, like my uncle's funeral, where people have come up and like, "Are you the niece that does the cupcakes?" Like that is what I am known for. But I'm actually been getting more into scones, oddly enough.
Wow.
And there is like a coffee shop that specifically orders my scones in town every week. So that's
Wow.
yeah.
Congrats on that. I had no idea you were so accomplished with that. Every once in a while in our private chats, we get a picture of unique, we'll call it cookies or cupcakes or something that you make. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, but no, that's crazy. That's awesome. What do you do with your spare time besides D&D and podcasting, which you do a lot of both?
I do. I mean, I have two teenagers, so hanging out with them. I do a lot of just creative stuff, painting minis, building terrain, baking, coming up with recipes. So still somewhat D&D adjacent in my
Mhm.
spare time, but yeah, that's just I look for creative outlets, I guess, a lot in a lot of different areas.
And you're involved in other podcasts fairly frequently, aren't you?
I have been. Currently, It's a Mimic is the only one I'm on that's running. But I have done the Crit Storm cast in the past. I was on the Initiative Order for a long time, doing streams and running their social media and all of that kind of stuff. So, as things do, people get busy and things come to an end.
Of
But
course, yeah.
I had an amazing time working on all of those.
So my last question is, what D&D class best represents not you, but your idea of your perfect self?
Hmm. Let's see. I always want to be a druid, but I think I'm a ranger.
Why?
Um, well, I grew up hunting and being outdoorsy and that kind of stuff. I also, as a kid, my only awards were in shooting archery. That and going on poker runs. So my only trophies have either an archer or a person on a motorcycle as a
That's
kid.
awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's either for shooting stuff or playing poker on the back of a motorcycle. That's my accomplishments.
That's
Um,
wild.
but I always love the druid vibe. And I know those two classes are very close to each other, but I'm a ranger who has aspirations to be a druid.
All right, so let's step away from D&D for a second. Let's get to know the real you by asking a bunch of bizarre questions. Do you have a D20?
Yeah, let me grab one. Okay.
All right, let's roll for 10 times.
10 times. My first one's an 18.
What is the one corner of pop culture that you don't understand, but you wish you knew more about?
Probably anime.
Yeah,
I don't my boyfriend and my kids are both super like they're all very into anime. And they have conversations with each other and I just sit there, I'm like, okay.
is there anything in particular that you want to like check out next in anime? Like, is it something they talk about all the time?
Um, I I don't know what shows they talk about.
Fair.
I just know they do. And I'm just like, okay.
The number of times that I've sat at the D&D table as Megan and Charlie are going off about anime, and Casey and I are looking at each other just shrugging.
Uh-huh.
It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's roll again.
All right. 6.
What is something that you're secretly really proud of that almost nobody in your day-to-day life really knows?
I mean, I don't think that people in my day-to-day life know exactly this podcast. Like, they know I'm on a podcast, but I don't think that they know how much it actually means to me and how much I love doing it. And like,
And that you're one of the heavy hitters on it?
yeah. Like when I tell people that like the Spotify Wrapped and stuff that just came through, and like people in 41 countries listen to me talk about dragons.
Right?
And that's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
And I
That's like an
like
eighth of the countries in the world.
yeah, like I don't think my parents like really have like understand. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're like, yeah, she does this podcast thing. I don't know. And my mom has listened to she listened to
Oh
the
no.
ladies
Oh,
and D&D episode because I did post on my Facebook how proud I was of that one.
yeah.
So she did listen to that. But like I come from a very not nerdy family. So none of them really understand how proud I am of this.
Well, when you grow up on a motorcycle,
Yeah.
yeah.
And in the woods. Yeah.
Um, let's roll again.
17.
17. What's your favorite number? What color is it? And how important is it to you?
My favorite number is 27. And this comes from when I was young. We had season tickets to the hockey team in town here. And my favorite player's number was 27, and he
Ah,
became very good friends with my family.
nice.
So every like screen name that I have and like my email from when I was a teenager that I still use has 27 at the end. So that's always like what I have at the end of, unless somebody else took it, but that's always what I start with.
Nice. What color is the number for you?
I don't know. I've never thought about what color it is.
So many people have opinions on what color different numbers are,
Numbers are?
especially the single digits. So it's funny that you don't have a color for it. That's wild.
I don't.
People are going to be in the comments going, 27 is clearly blue.
Blue came to my mind, so
Oh, well, there you go. So let's roll again.
11.
11. We all have different. Okay, this one is geared for you. We all have different levels of expertise in the kitchen, but what is
Uh-huh.
one specific cooking tip that you have for the listeners?
Okay, so I'm gonna go cooking over baking because I love doing both,
Yeah.
savory and sweet. And just like it'll be all right. It'll be right. You can fix it. It's just food. I rarely when cooking ever follow an actual recipe. I will glance at stuff and then just have fun with it and change it. And it doesn't have to be exact and like
Do you
just
do
do what
that?
you want.
Like, you're talking ingredients, you're talking like cook times and temperatures.
All of it.
That's freaking wild. I am one of those slaves to the cook time that like Mieka just wings it, and she's like, yeah, it's like this, and I don't know what it is. Some people have a sixth sense for it. I absolutely do not. I cannot figure out cook times and temperatures. I can wing ingredients, but that stuff baffles me. I especially in the oven. God, I have no idea. You are a wizard to me. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I spend so much time in the kitchen and stuff, so it's just like you get a feel for it after a while. And it's okay to make mistakes. Then that's how you learn, really. And everybody's had stuff that has not turned out good.
I mean, that's
Even
fair.
professionals, so that's you just take it as a learning experience. Okay, this is what I did wrong and what I should change next time. And you can always order pizza.
Fair. Let's get to another question.
3.
3. This one might be my favorite question. You wake up tomorrow and everyone in the world has painlessly and immediately vanished except for you and 3 other people from It's a Mimic. Who do you choose to spend the rest of your life exploring the empty planet with, keeping in mind survival, personality, and mental health? And again, you can't choose me.
Oh. I can only pick 3.
3 people from It's a Mimic.
Well, see, that's how I would choose all the girls.
But you can only pick 3.
But there's more than 3 of us. Ugh. I mean, definitely Megan. Oh, Megan, Casey, and Mieka. I'm sorry, Ellen. Adam made me cut somebody.
Good luck with that. That would be actually, so far of the answers I've gotten, that one's the most fun answer.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just
Could
like,
you imagine?
everyone else is just picking Dave for survivalist purposes, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but what else are you doing for the rest of the day?
I mean, I can
You
be
are.
Dave. Yeah. I'm the female version of Dave and the survivalist. So
Perhaps you're so much more than that. Don't be the female version of Dave, please.
Just in the survival zone apocalypse,
Yeah. Let's hit another question.
12.
Okay. At your funeral, what is the one song you absolutely need them to play, and what's the one song you forbid them from playing?
I need them to play Karma is My Kink and Never Achy Breaky Heart.
Never Achy Breaky Heart is such an obvious answer, but like I would never have a good well played. God, I haven't thought about that song in long freaking time.
My next roll is a 2.
The next one is a 2. In your opinion, what has been the most important invention or discovery in human history, and why?
I mean, the internet, because it has connected me to so many amazing people across the world that I would not have gotten to meet otherwise.
Yeah, it really shrunk the planet, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't have my wife if the internet didn't exist. So
yeah. Yeah, I think that has been just such a huge, and I know people hate on social media and that, but for me it was so life-changing, and like I have met so many amazing friends. That many of them I have never even been in the same state or like time zone as.
Yeah.
But like they know me better than people who have known me my whole life at this point. So
that's awesome. That's a radically different answer than I've heard so far. So I like that.
Yeah.
Let's roll again. You have
16. Okay.
16. What is one creative or artistic thing that you wish you were better at, and why aren't you giving it more time and energy?
Drawing. I can paint, I can cook, I can make crazy cookies out of frosting, but if you put a pencil in my hand and ask me to recreate what I just did on a piece of paper, like I cannot.
Yeah. I suck at drawing too. I think that was my answer, actually.
And I've tried, like I grew up, my sister is an artist, and she actually studied in Italy when she was in college for art, and she's always been amazing at it. And we used to have a guy that came to our house that gave us drawing lessons when we were little, and she was amazing at it, and I always sucked at it. And I always I wish I was better at drawing. As artistic as I am, that is one that I cannot.
Fair. All right. Grab dice.
3. Did we do 3?
We've done 3. Yep.
All right. 19.
If you could have a vacation for just you, that is all expenses paid, no strings attached, has no downsides from being away from family, friends, or work, and has safety guaranteed, where would you go or what would you see?
I have always, since I was little, wanted to see a volcano. So probably Hawaii.
That's cool. I mean, you can hop on our Discord for the Patreon and see Andre post about volcanoes blowing up in Iceland every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If you want an active volcano, you go to Iceland.
But I don't know that I want an active one.
All right, fine.
All right. 16. Did we do that one?
We have, yes.
10.
Last question. What did you want to grow up to be when you were a kid?
I never knew. I never had an answer to that when I was a kid. And I think at 38, I am just figuring it out.
Well, you were a kid at heart. What do you want to grow up to be?
Yeah. Exactly what I'm doing, the baking and working in a kitchen.
That's
For
excellent.
most of my life, I was a janitor, married into it, divorced out of it. And now I get to explore what actually makes me happy. And working in a kitchen is really that.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
It has been phenomenal watching you transition into that. We were so excited when you're like, I got a job as a baker. Like, that feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some, I mean, working in a kitchen is chaotic. Anybody who has ever done that kind of work, it's long hours, it's hard work. But it is amazing getting to create things that people enjoy every day and like watching the joy that that brings to people.
I legitimately couldn't do it. I am in
Mhm.
awe of people that do. I can't do it so much that The Bear stresses me out and I can't watch it. I refuse to, like, I can't do even kitchen nightmares and stuff. Like professional kitchens, I can't handle it. Like it's too chaotic, it's too stressful for my
Yeah,
organ.
it's so many moving parts. And I think that really works with my like ADHD brain very well. Like I would die sitting in a cubicle all day just looking at a computer. Like that would be, and I've applied for those jobs because I'm a single mom and need money. But I'm very glad that I ended up in a kitchen and not in a cubicle because it really scratches that itch of like I thrive in chaos type thing.
Well, you did say you're a mom. That's thriving in
Yeah.
chaos right
Yeah.
there. All right, I have one last question that I'm asking everybody. What is the most important piece of advice you have for D&D players? It doesn't matter if they're brand new or have 50 years of experience, and it doesn't matter if they're a forever DM or a never DM. What do you want them to know?
My biggest tip to players, and I actually just told my son this, is read your character sheet before each game because like I used to play I was in like 7 campaigns at once.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's calmed way down. But when you have that many characters, you forget who can do what, and then you end up like post game look thinking back and like, fuck, I forgot I have this ability that would have saved me in this situation. So it doesn't matter how much you play, it doesn't matter how long you've played. You are going to forget things on your character sheet, or if you're a DM on like abilities that your monsters do.
Yeah,
So read your stat block or your character sheet before each session to give yourself a refresher so you
that's
don't
a
kick yourself in the ass.
that's a really good point. I'm going right now. As soon as we hang up, I'm gonna have a shower and run out to be a player in Dungeons and Dragons for the first time in years, like better
Ooh.
part of a decade, with the new rule set. And so I've drawn up a first level character,
Uh-huh.
and I have gone over it 3 times, and I still don't know what the hell I can do.
Yeah.
I also have to get used to the new character sheet because we're doing this new edition, but like
Mhm.
it's wild. So
Yeah. Yeah. There is a session that like one of my characters is a paladin druid, and there was a person in front of me that was like diseased or poisoned or something, and I was like, I don't know what to do because I forgot that I was a paladin. And I
yeah,
almost let that person die because I forgot I had lay on hands.
it's hilarious. Dan played a fighter that like it was a high level campaign, and you rolled him up at like level 10 or something, and never, I think 3 times in that campaign he remembered that he had Indomitable,
Uh-huh.
and he had it written at one point. He wrote it in giant block letters across the top of the character sheet, so he would always see it and still just ignored it.
Hmm.
So yeah, he still missed it over and over and over again, and he would be on the drive home going, shit, I could have done this. So yeah.
Yeah, when I play with my kids, I try to like remember, and I have their character sheets on my D&D Beyond, so I can pull it up and like sort of give them hints. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, you don't you have this ability that could maybe help?
um, well, that's all for this Meet the DMs episode of It's a Mimic. Please take a second to engage with a like, follow, comment, and review to help push our engagement. And don't forget to subscribe to find future inspirations for your campaigns. If you'd like to support us, we have a store with some merch and a donate button on our website, itsamimic.com, as well as a Patreon. This episode and others can also be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and most other podcast apps. Thanks for listening to It's a Mimic, where you never know what you're going to get.